What is good, everybody? Welcome to another Niners Nation podcast. This is the Instant Reaction podcast. And for once, I don't have to talk about a loss. For the first time in a month, I am not talking about the 49ers losing. They get the win. Fantastic win. By the way, happy Halloween, everybody. My favorite holiday. Niners get the win. Little treat here. No tricks for the Niners. Yeah, I did the pun right off the bat. What do you want from me? 33-22. And for one day, at least just one day, everything is okay in 49ers land. Everybody can just take a deep breath, exhale, relax a little bit. The Niners offense, they struggled early, but they got going, especially in the second half. And like, I just, I don't know what to do with my hands. Like the 49ers won. Is this how other teams feel all the time? It's unbelievable. It's great. And I know it's the Bears. And I know that Justin Fields, hasn't been playing well. And they didn't have Khalil Mack. And Matt Nagy was not coaching because of COVID. I know there are a ton of caveats. I get it. But can we just enjoy this? Can we just relax and just enjoy a win? A win is a win. Other teams got crazy wins, whatever, man. We needed this. This was desperate times for the 49ers, and they came through today big time. Little bit different show today. I'm going to be by myself. Levin is out trick-or-treating with his kid. Probably do a little shorter show. Not going to lie. Going to go trick-or-treating with my kids myself. But of course, wanted to jump in here. We want to take your questions and your comments all show long. I want to hear everything from you. We're going to get into the offense. We'll get into Jimmy G playing in his hometown, you may have heard. We're going to get into the running game, the defense, which early on was the target of people on Twitter, just letting the Bears go up and down the field. They figured it out. They did just enough to get the win. But man, this feels good. So keep your questions and your comments coming here. I want to, like I said, answer as many as I can. If you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to the Niners Nation Podcast Network. If you're subscribed already, thank you. We appreciate you. But if you could just please leave a rating and a review. It's a small thing you can do, but it makes a big difference for us. First comment of the day, Peter Burge watching on the Niners Nation YouTube page. Hell yeah, I'm stoked. Let's celebrate a win. Amen, Peter. Like, amen. 18 points in the fourth quarter by the 49ers. Like, yeah, let's celebrate the win. I want to be, I want people to be happy today. Enjoy it. How about this comment from Aaron? Watching on the Niners Nation YouTube page. Did Levin dress up as a human wet blanket? He doesn't have to dress up. He's in costume all the time. But yeah, probably. I'd like to see a picture of Levin in costume. Levin, if you're watching this, I want to see the costume from you. What do you got? All right, so where do you want to start first here? Let's just get into some of the nuts and bolts nuggets on the day. Jimmy Garoppolo, 17 of 28, 322 yards, no passing touchdowns in this, but he did have 2 rushing touchdowns, 5 attempts for 4 yards and 2 touchdowns. So one of those weird stat lines on the day. And you know what? Like, he wasn't bad today. Like, you got to give it to Jimmy. The 49ers receivers had a bunch of drops. He was not the problem today when the Niners weren't scoring in the first half. You cannot say that. He was on target, mostly had one turnover worthy play that I saw, but for the most part, Jimmy G was on target. Now, no Khalil Mack, like we said, and it was the Bears, like probably one of the worst 3 teams in the entire league. But everyone's saying that I can't be positive about the team now because I ripped them so much. Here's what I say. When they play well, I compliment them. I point it out. We talk about it. When they play badly, I do the exact same thing. Jimmy Garoppolo was good today for the 49ers. Also, no sacks allowed. Really wasn't even under that much pressure all day, which was pretty refreshing to see. No Trey Lance at all. So that tells you how Jimmy Garoppolo was playing. And there was that one play, the first touchdown run that Jimmy Garoppolo had. And I don't know if Trey Lance makes this play because this is a play that like a rookie quarterback probably freaks out a little bit if you're not really poised. So I don't know what specifically happened. I don't know whose fault it was, but the Niners are running a play with Deebo Samuel. He's going to run like a motion, from one side of the formation to the other. I don't know if he was supposed to get the snap. I don't know if it was supposed to be a play fake to him or whatever, but he's motioning across the formation and Alex Mack is not he doesn't think he has to snap the ball because he's making an adjustment on the line. So he's actually talking to the guard. I think it was Laken Tomlinson at the time, trying to point something out and correct the protection. And Garoppolo realizes, hey, something is not going to be right here. So he just literally throws up the stop sign, stops Debo, gets the snap and just runs it in. Great play by Garoppolo. Again, he may have screwed up the snap count. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, he adjusted in real time in a critical situation in the red zone and scored a touchdown. Like, you can't ask for more than that from your quarterback. All right, let's get to some of your comments. Okay, see, oh boy, I'm so bad at the names. I apologize for this. Brennan, watching on the Niners Nation YouTube page, the third down conversion issue is still tough. Here's the thing. The 49ers figured it out. You know what they decided like halfway through the third quarter? Let's just not get third downs anymore. That's essentially what the 49ers did. I'm not sure the streak where it actually ended, but at one point, the 49ers had 7 straight plays that either went for a first down or a touchdown. No third down. They just avoided it altogether. That's like the overarching feeling from this game is like, okay, the 49ers offense finally got in a rhythm, right? We finally got to see this Kyle Shanahan machine start to put it together, and they absolutely did. And I know, again, the Bears, I get it, but that's how the offense should run. It shouldn't look so difficult all the time. Elijah Mitchell, unbelievable, carving up the Bears defense. 18 carries, 137 yards, 7.6 yards per play. He had a long of 39 yards. That's the other thing. The big chunk plays returned for the 49ers on offense. Excuse me. Elijah Mitchell, 39-yard gain on the ground. Fantastic. Debo Samuel had an 83-yard catch and run where he got tackled at the 1-inch line, didn't get the touchdown. And he had a 50-yard, bomb through the air. Like, Niners offense was carving it up. It was absolutely beautiful. Excuse me. All right, let's get to some more of your comments. Let's see here. Kanoa Aki watching on the Niners Nation Facebook page. Again, I apologize if I mispronounce your name. Bears had 3 fumbles that bounced back to them. You're right that the Niners were forcing fumbles a little bit. Seems like Josh Norman is good for 1 forced fumble every game. He's also good for multiple blown coverages, but he does force a fumble. But yeah, it could have been an even bigger win by the 49ers. I want to hear from you. I have to scroll through all my pre-made graphics here, a little peek behind the curtain, and most of them are who disappointed you the most. When did things first go wrong for the 49ers? Well, you know what? Boom. Let's throw up a nice positive one. What did we learn this week? I learned, like I said, that Kyle Shanahan still knows how to call a football game. Like, imagine that. He didn't forget everything he ever knew, this season. Everything he did was working, basically. The 49ers did not punt in this game, I believe. I'm going to double check that, but I'm pretty sure they did not punt and they did not turn the ball over. Yes, no punts for the 49ers. Have a day, Mitch Wishnowski. Enjoy that paycheck for doing very, very little. It was just smooth for San Francisco. Even in the first half when they weren't getting touchdowns, for the most part, they were moving the ball down the field. Joey Sly missed a field goal to start the game, which, by the way, did not start my Halloween off on a good note. But 11 plays, 37 yards. 6 plays, 45 yards. 7 plays, 41 yards. And 7 plays, 71 yards. That's the 49ers offense just churning it down the field again and again and again. Now, again, it was only 9 points. That was very frustrating, especially at the end of the first half when Kyle Shanahan deliberately ran the clock down because he was afraid the Niners weren't going to pick up a third down conversion, and then they ultimately did. And when Debo caught that 50-yard bomb, the Niners only had 7 seconds left by the time they clocked the ball because Kyle Shanahan had spent so much time running time off the clock. But again, a win is a win is a win. But that's what I learned. The big plays for the 49ers still exist, and they are still back. Let's get to some of your comments here. How about this comment from Eddie watching on the Niners Nation Facebook page? Charlie Warner needs to play over Dwelly. He blocked great. Eddie, you're 1,000% right. I saw people saying it on Twitter. Kyle Posey, I believe he was at the game, was tweeting about it. Charlie Warner stepping up. Ross Dwelly can just go fly a kite. Like, let's get some of these young guys in here. And Warner was great. He had a big catch. What was it? In the Colts game, I believe he had a big catch on the second touchdown drive. Maybe he's starting to come on a little bit and can be a backup tight end for this team. Because don't forget, the Niners have been searching for a backup tight end for quite a while. Kelly watching on the Niners Nation Facebook page. Jimmy was good, quite a few drops. Mitchell is a beast, Niners for life. Yeah, see, that's the kind of stuff we should be saying every Sunday, man. Like, nice, good comments. This one from John watching on the Facebook page. Give the O-line some love. They did a great job and had not been as bad as people think. I don't know that they were getting a ton of criticism, but you're right, John. They did a great job, obviously. I mean, I mentioned that Jimmy Garoppolo was not touched, was not sacked. I don't know if he was hit on the day, maybe one or two times, but for a large portion of the game, he was clean. And the Niners ran for 145 yards as a team, 5.6 yards per carry. So the offensive line absolutely did their job. Oh, now see, are we really going to get into this? Mike George watching on the Facebook page. Jimmy said, F the haters today. Yeah, it was a good game by Jimmy Garoppolo. I give him that. But here's the deal. It was against the Bears. So I'm not taking anything away from him. Here's what I'm saying. That's what he should do. He did it. Give him credit for that. And let's move on. It doesn't solve the debate. I still think Trey Lance should be starting. I still think Trey Lance should be starting next week. But Jimmy had a good game against one of the worst teams in the league. And it's okay if we can say it. Bay watching on the Niners Nation YouTube page. Bay Marin. First Oh, I'm sorry. This is the wrong comment, but I'll read it anyway. Bay Marin says, first calm fourth quarter lead since quite a mile. I wasn't super calm. I got to tell you, I really wasn't. Like, I was still, when the Niners were playing for that field goal at the end of regulation, I'm sitting there like, I don't know if we should be doing this. Joey Sly's already missed some points. And how about Sly missing a field goal and an extra point in this game? Thank God the Bears missed an extra point as well after that amazing Justin Fields play. But Niners do get the win 33-22. It is the first win by the 49ers by more than one score in over a year. They had not beaten anybody by more than a score since the Patriots game last season. So kudos to you, Kyle Shanahan. That's sort of nice, right? Like, why don't we try and do that again next week? Imagine that. How about this comment from Carlo Garibay, who says Cards will humble Jimmy G real quick. I don't know about that. Niners played the Cards tough, and Kyler Murray's banged up. He got hurt. He got an ankle twist at the end of that game before the interception. I think it was the play before the interception. Somebody landed on him awkwardly on a run, and he hurt his ankle. He left the game in a walking boot, and I'm hearing that it's not a nothing injury. So we'll see about, the Cards next week. And don't skip ahead. Like, enjoy this one, man. Enjoy this game. The 49ers win. You should be happy about it. Everyone should be happy about it. And let's just relax for a second, okay? I'm kind of glad that Levin's not here. He's only joining for the losses, apparently. But, man, what a nice win by the 49ers. I'm just going to tweet out the link real quick. Again, we remind you, please rate, review, and subscribe to the Niners Nation Podcast Network. If you leave a review, I promise you, we will read it. We always read it. We read all of them. I read the bad ones, too. Sorry, just tweeting this out. And there we go. Okay. Apologies. Let's get back to some of your comments here. Merrill says, does anyone else think we should have gone for 2 to go up by 9? Didn't really end up making a difference, though. You know what? I saw a lot of people saying the same thing. It was nice. The Niners did go for 2 at one point and had a wide open pass to Brandon Ayuk, which, side note, the return of Brandon Ayuk, are we seeing it? He had 7 targets in the game, 4 catches, 45 yards, 7 targets for Brandon Ayuk. I don't know if Kyle Shanahan was just desperate or what, but hey, congratulations. Hopefully we start to see that thaw a little bit. He had a couple nice catches and runs in this game. Mohamed Sanu had 4 targets. That's 4 targets too many for me. He had a big drop early on too, but yeah, Brandon Ayuk. Yay. Like, maybe we could kind of incorporate him into the offense and see what we have a little bit here. I don't know. That's just me. But 49ers offense, really, really good. So happy to see it. That's exactly what they needed. Get a little momentum going. By the way, I'm going to try and keep an eye on what Kyle Shanahan and company are saying after the game. I did notice that on the crazy Justin Fields play in the fourth quarter Fred Warner got lit up by Jason Peters. Looked like a crackback block to me, but he actually left the game and was evaluated for a concussion. Fortunately, he did not have a concussion. He was cleared and he returned. So that is absolutely outstanding. And Jimmy Ward left the game with a quad injury. Tavon Wilson, I believe, was playing safety. So we'll have to see what the status of Ward is. That would be a huge loss for the 49ers, but I'm sure Kyle will update it after the game. Like I said, I'm going to try and keep an eye on it. It's a little difficult while, hosting and trying to do both, but we'll make it work here for you. Oh, and Josh watching on the Niners Nation YouTube page. Levin might even crack a smile tonight through his ghoulish mask. He may. He actually texted me that he seemed pretty happy. So hopefully he does. Again, be happy today. Just be happy. That's all I want to say. Let's change up the question. Who impressed you the most today? Let's get to some more good positive vibes. Leroy Betancourt watching on the Niners Nation Facebook page. I talk smack about Jimmy, but good job today. He's a Niner, and I still want him to succeed. Of course, we all want the team's quarterback to succeed. Like that. That's the frustrating thing is that, yes, I'm somebody that wanted Trey Lance to start. That doesn't mean I'm rooting for Jimmy Garoppolo to fail while he's in there. Of course, I want him to succeed. It's just frustrating when he doesn't. And we keep saying, give us Lance, give us Lance, give us Lance. But we're not happy when Jimmy Garoppolo fails. That is not the case at all. And I wasn't happy when Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt. I never want to see anybody get hurt. Like, just because we disagree on who the quarterback should be doesn't mean we disagree on who we're rooting for, right? I think sometimes, we get into these like intense debates on Twitter and stuff, and we got to take a step back here. We're all on the same team. We are all on the same team. Bryce James, do you guys honestly believe Lance would have put up 33 points? Because if no, then Lance shouldn't be starting. Oh, that's not how it works, dude. Like, no, you know what? I'm not getting into this. I don't know if Trey Lance would have put up 33 points. He didn't have to because Jimmy Garoppolo finally did his job. Like, let's not have this war, okay? Come on now. Let's get into some. We shouldn't be arguing. We should be getting into good discussions. Come on now. Tracy Miller Jenkins. I've been a Niner fan for over 50 years. Shout out to you, Tracy. That's awesome. I'm sorry that you've only seen, the little success we've had in the past 20, but you got to see some pretty cool stuff before that. So I wonder what Kyle Shanahan thinks in his heart of hearts now, if he was planning on going back to Trey Lance. And I don't know that he was, but if he was, does he think he have to hold off now because Jimmy had a really good game? Or does he say, screw it, we're putting Trey in anyway, enough is enough? So I don't know. I'll have to see after the game. Obviously, it's nice to see him with a happy recap. Kyle was kind of looking a little ragged there, as 4 straight losses will do to you in a season where you're supposed to compete for a championship. But all around, great game by the 49ers. I was a little, as we switch it over here, a little nervous about the defense. Like, what's going on early? The Bears didn't punt in the first half. Justin Fields all of a sudden looks good where usually he's been looking terrible. They didn't get really much of a pass rush all game, to be honest with you. Now, Fields ended up getting sacked 4 times. A lot of that came in the second half. And some of that was just Nick Bosa being an absolute monster. But the defense early on, I was really questioning. Like, how can this team, go out and hold Arizona that was putting up 30 against everybody? They go out and hold them to, what was it, like 18 points or very few points. And then now Justin Fields is going up and down the field. But no, the Bears scored 9 points in the second half of this game. Fields was 19 of 27 for 175 yards and also ran for 103 yards on 10 carries. He was up and down, but I think the Niners defense definitely adjusted in the second half. Early on, it looked like they were playing so much soft coverage. Like they were so nervous with the secondary of the Niners that they didn't want to play man coverage. So they went soft. And Fields is just checking it down and going right down the field. I think he only had like 2 incompletions in the first half of this game. I don't know if the Niners changed up their coverage in the second half. That's something I'll have to, ask smarter people than me basically about. But I want to know about that. But it seemed like they adjusted and Fields ended up getting shut down. And by the way, not to toot my own horn, but Michelle Majuk and I on the Gold Diggers podcast, which is Friday on the Niners Nation Podcast Network, told you to take the over on the 2 running backs rushing yardage totals, Khalil Herbert and Elijah Mitchell. And we told you to take the under on Justin Fields passing yardage. All 3 hit today. So hopefully we made you a little money on addition to your Halloween night. Get some candy. Now you got a little extra cash. Just saying. We don't always get them right, but we happen to get them right. Joe, watching on the Niners Nation YouTube page. I'm sorry we barely beat the Bears. The freaking Bears. This is not a great win. Great, Joe, but it is a win. It's a win. And I will take not a great win over a loss any day of the year. Like, don't be that guy. Don't be Joe. I'm telling you, let's not do that. Let's just relax, Joe. Let's have a win. Joe's hearing it in the comments still. Like, how are you going to lose 4 straight games and then complain about a win? Lots of people saying this is not a big win. Like, I get that, but here's the thing. Like, what did you want to see, right? Just coming into this game, you wanted to see the offense play well. You wanted to see the offense score points, first of all, and you wanted to see Jimmy Garoppolo not turn the ball over. Well, you got all 3 of those in this game. The 49ers scored 33 points. That's fantastic. They didn't punt in the game, and they didn't turn the ball over. So, like, you got everything you wanted. How could you be anything but happy after today, right? So, I'm not here for that. Like, I am not here for people complaining after a win. Right. Jared, watching on the Niners Nation YouTube page. Let's not argue and bicker about who killed who. This is a happy occasion. Amen. Happy Halloween. Happy Sunday. 49ers win. There's a strange creature flying around my studio now. That's not going to distract me at all. I think it's a ladybug. All right. That's a little less threatening. Anyway, so 33-22 is the final score by the San Francisco 49ers. Let's do something that I love to do because you guys are really creative and I always really appreciate it. Let's do, if I can find the actual banner, which now all of a sudden I can't. Here, you know what? Let's do this one. Let's throw this one up instead. This is a good question. How do you feel about Kyle Shanahan? Because he was under so much heat early in this game, right? Everybody was out. The torches and pitchforks were out for Kyle Shanahan. And here we go. Like I said, multiple scoring drives, multiple touchdowns, no punts. You still like hate his guts. I still hate his management. I'll tell you that. I still hate the fact that he is not playing Trey Lance and doesn't seem willing to prepare him. But at least he showed everybody he still knows how to call a game, right? At least he knows how to get big chunk plays down the field. Oh, okay. I'm terrible at reading this. Agisa Niners fan? Sorry. Again, I apologize. Watching on the YouTube page, Kyle's still overrated. Okay. But again, he did the job. He did exactly what we want. LJ Agarin. Sorry. Again. Let's go with LJ. On the Niners Nation Facebook page. Keep the fire under Kyle's seat. Amen. Like, pressure makes diamonds, right? That's what they say. If that's what it takes, whatever, man. Loved it. The 50-yard bomb to Deebo Samuel. Like, yes. Where was that in the Colts game, right? That's what we were all hoping for. Great to see. Great to see. And they got chunk plays in the ground game, which is something that Kyle had mentioned leading up to this game. So it was nice to see like an actual adjustment from the 49ers and them getting the things that he's talked about so often. Merrill again on the Niners Nation Facebook page. That 83-yarder to Deebo felt like 2019 for a minute. You know why it felt like 2019 to me? Because it was kind of like, hey, everything's going the Niners' way. Don't forget, that was 3rd and 19, that play. That was a 3rd and 19 play that the Niners threw a pass behind the line of scrimmage, right? If Deebo doesn't do that, even if he gets like 7 or 8 yards and they don't get the first down, Shanahan's getting killed, right? He's getting booed and the vultures are out. Instead, Deebo Samuel rips off an 84-yard play. By the way, it was the longest play of the season, I believe, for the 49ers. And like, yeah, that kind of gave me a good feeling like, okay, this isn't the same old 49ers right now. This isn't the same old 49ers game. So, yeah, I feel a little better about Kyle Shanahan. Let's see. Andrew Ardo watching on the Niners Nation YouTube page. Kyle confirmed that first Jimmy rushing touchdown was meant for Deebo. That would make sense because I doubt Kyle Shanahan's drawing up a lot of shotgun runs for Jimmy Garoppolo in the red zone. So yeah, it would make sense that it was for Deebo and Kyle just stopped him. And so good job, Jimmy. Kyle Shanahan gave a game ball to Elijah Mitchell's wife who had a baby this week. That's awesome. Congratulations. Hope everybody's doing well. Shanahan was openly concerned about Jimmy Ward's health after he pulled a quad because Tart's on injured reserve. So that's going to get dicey for the 49ers at safety, which, let's be honest, when you bring back Tart and Ward again, that's what you're going to get, right? The 49ers are always nervous at safety with their health because that's what those guys do. Hurt guys get hurt. We say it all the time. Let's see what else is happening in the 49ers. Okay, more injuries for you. Both safeties, Jimmy Ward and Kai Nakua. All right. Healthy 49ers safeties, Talanoa Hufanga, Tavon Wilson, and Tony Jefferson, who's on the practice squad. Yeah, expect to see him coming up. And sorry, let me just read this really quickly. Yeah. Samuel should have probably gotten it after the timing was botched. Yeah, that's okay. That's the other thing, too, on that play. Like, it's nice to see the 49ers overcome some adversity, right? Because we hadn't gotten a lot of that this year. Normally, in the past 4 games, that play is snapped and Jimmy's not ready and the ball goes over his head or it hits Debo and he fumbles it, right? That's not what happened. They actually overcame a little bit of adversity on the field, which is something that we hadn't seen in a month. Wow, just checking. The Bears they had the ball for 37 minutes in this game. The 49ers still won. They had the turnover at the end, obviously the Fields interception. Niners still had penalties, 7 for 55. That is a ton. Now, none of those were pass interference, so I guess that's progress, but that's still way too many penalties for this team. Kyle McAndrews watching on the Niners Nation YouTube page. Saner than Harbaugh, Shanahan is. Haven't lost faith in him yet, but we need a win against a good team. Yes, that's all fair. That's all legit. The Niners' wins so far this season have come against Detroit, Philadelphia, and now Chicago. But you'll get a chance next week with the Cardinals and the Rams back to back. You beat both of those teams, and no one's going to be saying you're not beating anybody good. So, there's opportunities coming. But until then, beat the teams that are on the schedule, man. That's all I'm saying. And that's what the Niners did today. Oh, man, I feel so good. Like, I'm so gotten like a habit of just being mad on Sundays. 49ers win. A couple more updates. George Kittle and Robbie Gould are expected to come back next week off of IR. Jimmy Ward, we don't know. Maybe he could miss a few weeks, apparently. But no other injuries of note, which is awesome. Again, a welcome change for the 49ers. Now, losing a starting safety is obviously bad, but yay. Like, let's get healthy for a change. Trent Williams played today, which we didn't know if he was going to play, so that was good to see. I think that, this was just a good all-around Sunday for the Niners. And if this Ayuk thing, like, is over, this freeze, and hopefully they incorporate him back into the offense, like, we could see more of these 30-point games in the future. Imagine that. That's what we want to see. We want to see Ayuk incorporated into the offense. We want to see all that stuff. DJ watching on the Niners Nation YouTube page. This offense was decent. No DPIs. Can't fault Kyle this week, in my opinion. You're not faulting anyone for a win. You don't fault anybody for a win. That's not how it works. All right. Wow, I really appreciate all the comments coming in. I can't even read them. Chris watching on the Niners Nation Facebook page. Trey who? LOL. Great game from Jimmy G. Yeah, things are going well when Lance has no injury designation and doesn't see the field for a single play. And I thought we would, especially with the way the offense struggled in the first half. But I don't know if they just adjusted. I don't know what the deal was there. But hey, you didn't need him, right? Perfect. Jed watching on the Niners Nation Facebook page. Does Kyle know how to call a game? They passed 50% more than ran the entire first half when Chicago was bad against the run. We were having success on the ground. I mean, I don't know how you can complain about the running game. The Niners run game killed it. They ran for, if I can quickly pull up the actual number, 145 yards on 26 carries. That's 5.5 yards a carry. Like, they did pretty damn good, in my opinion. Venny White watching on the Niners Nation Facebook page. A team will play like their job is on the line when their job is on the line. Now, Kyle's job wasn't on the line. Let's not get crazy here. But Jimmy Garoppolo's very well might have been. And he had his best game of the season after essentially his worst game of the season. So again, I said it, pressure makes diamonds, man. Like, whether it's coming from the media or whoever, like, there should be pressure on this team to perform. And there was this week. There was last week too, and they didn't really do it. But there was this week, and they came out and they played well, and they again adjusted to some adversity. Chicago came out and kind of punched them in the mouth a little bit, and Niners took it, and they bounced back in a big way. Obviously, all those points in the second half. All right, before we go, and again, I'm sorry that I'm going to cut this show a little short because it's Halloween. I want to go trick or treating with my son. I'm not going to lie. Let's hand out some game balls. I should probably make a nice little banner there. See that? This is how professional I am. Who gets your game ball for today? Like I said, Jimmy Garoppolo got one and Elijah Mitchell got one from Kyle Shanahan. Who gets yours? That's what I want to know. I'm not going to put it on Jimmy Garoppolo because even though he was good, let's get more interesting than that. I want to put it on Deebo Samuel. 6 catches, 171 yards. He should have had the touchdown. He was like an inch short from the touchdown. Actually got tackled inside like the 3-yard line twice today, which is pretty rare. But I saw the graphic they put up during the game. He has more yards through the 49ers' first 7 games of the season than any other 49er in history. And when you are a wide receiver and you break a record on the 49ers, you're essentially breaking Jerry Rice's record because he has them all. And Deebo has done it. And he's had some drops, and he had some drops in this one, a couple of drops early that he also bounced back from, but clearly got it together. And in a year where they, like we said, have frozen Brandon Ayuk out of the offense, he is dominating. Everybody in the world knows Deebo's getting the ball, and Kittle's out, and he still had 6 for 171 on 9 targets. Deebo Samuel gets my game ball. What an absolute monster. Talk about a bounce back after the last year where he barely played, was hurt all the time. He has come in and lit it up. LJ, again, on the Facebook page, says Bosa and the D-line for getting pressure. I didn't think they got a ton of pressure. They got more in the second half for sure. And Bosa got had a couple nice sacks, but I didn't think they got a ton. David Britt, watching on the Niners Nation Facebook page, says give it to Deebo. I totally agree. Yes, he had drops, Chris, in the first half, but still, let's just chill out. Michael McCall, excuse me, watching on the Niners Nation Facebook page. The O-line, Jimmy was safe as houses today. Safe as houses? Is that a thing? I'm not very hip, so it very well could be. I'm not going to lie. But the O-line played great. Like I said, Jimmy Garoppolo, no sacks. I'm not sure if he was hit, but I don't think. Pressured on very few plays, and it's amazing. He had his best game in the season when he wasn't under pressure. But against the Bears, like, no Khalil Mack. That's what you would expect. It was nice to see the 49ers handle their business today. How about this from Marco, watching on the Niners Nation YouTube page? The most impressive thing of the game, our ability to stay disciplined and consistent. I didn't think they were very disciplined, to be honest with you, especially in the first half. Like I said, 7 penalties today, 55 yards. There was a bad penalty on 3rd down where Eric Armstead jumped and got an encroachment penalty. It was 3rd and 9, I think. Obviously, that shortened it to 3rd and 4. The Bears went on to convert. There were some bad penalties. Illegal hands to the face. Josh Norman had a crushing defensive holding penalty on a 3rd down play that would have, it was 3rd down in the red zone, I believe, and it would have held the Bears to a field goal. He got the flag, so they got another chance at it. I don't know that they were super disciplined, but they were disciplined enough. And that's the thing. One more note here before we go. I like this comment. Kellen Ferguson says, Talanoa Hufanga brings the energy we needed with Tart gone. He absolutely did. He was flying all over the field. And I'm not smart enough to say right now that he didn't have any screw ups because I don't know. You know, I got to watch the film and read a bunch of stuff and see, you know, really dive into it. I was a little busy. I was on VSiN today helping them out with their coverage, but Hufanga looked great. Flying around out there, constantly around the ball, made a lot of really, not just tackles, like big tackles, you know, physical stops, like statement type tackles. So it was nice to see Talanoa Hufanga get an opportunity. It was nice to see someone from this draft class get an opportunity, personally. Like, yes, play the rookie. Now, Deommodore Lenoir was inactive today, and initially I had a tweet about that, criticizing Kyle Shanahan, but that was my fault. I'm not sure if it's his wife or girlfriend or partner. I'm not sure, but he's having a baby. They're welcoming a child into the world. So that's a pretty good excuse to be inactive. A lot of people, I'm sorry, a lot of people keep asking about Kittle. Yes, Kyle Shanahan has said that George Kittle is likely back next week along with Robbie Gould. So that is obviously very good against Arizona. You need all the ammunition, all the assets, all the players you can get. But again, be happy today. Today was about the 49ers getting a huge win that they desperately needed with their season on the line. And they put the ball in the hands of their playmakers. And that's something that has not been happening for the last 4 weeks. Debo had a big game. Elijah Mitchell had a big game. We mentioned Ayuk was more involved than he's ever been. Get the ball in the hands of your best players. It's not crazy. It's a simple formula. And for some reason, Kyle Shanahan had not been doing it, but he did it today. He did it today. 49ers get the win 33-22. Just enjoy it. Take the week. Now you can listen to all the national shows, right? You can listen to the radio. Somebody, if they're going to talk about the 49ers game, they might say something good because they really can't say anything bad. So it's safe to like expand your NFL coverage again. Obviously, our coverage on Niners Nation will be a lot more positive because there will be a lot more positive things that happened for us to talk about. If you haven't subscribed to the Niners Nation Podcast Network, please do it now. If you've been watching for this long, you obviously like something we said. Subscribe. Give us a chance to prove to you that we are worth your time. I promise you, we are not going to let you down. If you leave a rating and a review, again, as I said, we see it. We will read it on the show. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Enjoy the win. Happy Halloween. By the way, if you're in the Connecticut area and you happen to come to my house, I'm just telling you now, you come to the Guerrera house on Halloween, you get a full-size candy bar. None of this fun-size stuff. I went to the store. I spent a ton of money. We have full-size Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Hershey bars, Kit Kat, and Starburst, too, because, you got to worry about allergies and stuff. Come to our house. We'll give them out. And especially if you come a little later and we got some left, I just empty the bowl. Like, I don't care. You're not my kids. Like, here, have 6 candy bars. That's all fine. But enjoy the day. Enjoy your Halloween. It's the best holiday of the year, by the way, by far. Enjoy the win. And we will talk to you next week.